Hey guys, it's Alex here again. Welcome to the course where we'll be looking at alignment. Alignment is the placement of design elements so they line up. In design, we use alignment to organize elements, to group elements, to create balance, to create structure, and to create connections between design elements. Now let me give you a quick overview of how a design can look without alignment. So here we have three random elements in the form of squares, and each of these squares are supposed to have a text that says something about each of them. But without alignment, you can see how the elements are just flying around on this design. You can't really tell which text is for which of the squares. You don't even know where any of the texts belong. You see how by instantly looking at this, you are confused. You can tell that the design is not organized. You can tell that the design does not have any structure. So this is what designs look without alignment. It looks chaotic. So the essence of alignment, just as we said before now, is to restore structure, is to group the elements together, is to create connection between different elements. And that is what we're going to do right now. We're going to structure these elements together. We're going to create connection between each of the squares and the various texts that each of them are meant to be with. So here we have it all cleaned up. You can see how the squares are arranged, and you can see how each of the texts that are meant for them are directly placed under them. So here the design makes more sense, looks more organized and tidy. So by simply introducing alignment, the design now has structure and now looks more organized. So this is a simple overview of what alignment does in designs. Now there are two types of alignment, which are edge alignment and center alignment. Alignment by edge is just simply aligning a group of elements towards the edge of a design. Then center alignment is aligning elements or a group of elements to the center of a design. Now let's look at edge alignment and center alignment. Now there are four types of edge alignment, and the first one is edge alignment by the left, or you can simply call it left alignment. So here the elements in the design are aligned towards the left of the design. You can see I have to place a blue line by the left to show you the side of the design where the elements are leaning towards to. It's important to note that in designs, there are no physical lines that you will be seeing where these elements will be aligned to, like here. So the use of blue line is just for demonstration purposes only. We align elements to edges or center using what we call grids, and we'll be handling grids and making use of grids extensively in one of the future courses. So here's another type of edge alignment, which is right. Here a group of elements are aligned to the right of the design. So here you can see how we lined up the elements which are in gray color to the right, which we are representing with a blue line. Then also we have edge alignment by bottom. So here we align a group of elements to the bottom of our design. Then we also have edge alignment by the top, which is where we align elements to the top of the design. And that's all for edge alignment and the types. Now let's look at center alignment and the types as well. In center alignment, we have horizontal center alignment, where we arrange all elements to a horizontal axis. And here you can see where the blue line is representing the horizontal axis at the center of the design. Then we also have center alignment by vertical axis, where we have axis at the center of the design, but this time on the vertical axis. So here too, we used the blue line to represent this vertical axis. You can see how the elements are placed on them and arranged as well. So let's look at some example from a flyer design we used in the previous video. So this is a simple church flyer, and here the designer used multiple alignments. This is to prove to you that you must not use one type of alignment in a design. You can use several types of alignment and it is allowed. Let's make this design a little bit dark so we can highlight the axis and lines of alignment. Here by the top right, you can see how the designer left aligned the elements, the address of the church and date of the service. You can see that all the text there are leaning towards an imaginary axis, which I have to highlight by introducing a white line. And aside that, the designer center aligned worship with us, and that is vertical center alignment. And the center vertical alignment is not just working for worship with us alone. It's also used it to balance out the images of the happy family at the bottom of the design. The man and one of the daughters on the left part of the axis, and you can see the mother and the second daughter on the right part of the axis. So you can see how the designer used the center alignment to balance the design. Let's look at another example. So here is a real estate event. For us to see the alignments used here, let's make the design a little bit darker and then introduce the axis of the alignment so we can see what the designer did here. So if you look closely at the white lines, you can see that the designer used left edge alignment throughout the design. Going to the top right, where we have the speakers, you can see how the frame of the speakers and the name of the speakers are aligned to the left. Then looking at the bottom left of the design, where we have the topic or the theme of the event, the importance of estate planning, you can see how the texts are also leaning towards the white line that I have drawn as well. So they are all left edge aligned. So removing the lines, look at how organized the design is by merely introducing alignment. So alignment helps us to structure our designs and make them look organized. And that brings us to the end of this course. So as an activity for this course, you have to share at least 3 designs with good alignment and state the type of alignment each has. So see you in the next video where we discuss function as a design principle.